Hi, Mick McQuaid here to talk to you about CRUD apps. And you might wonder at this point in the course why people are going to type in SQL commands. Why are people going to always type in select statements to get data out of a database or alter statements to change the database? And the answer is that they don't. They usually use CRUD apps. So CRUD stands for Create, Read, Update, and Delete. And it's tragic that somebody thought up this particular acronym for this very useful and very common kind of app. It's usually written in Python or JavaScript or Java or whatever language, and it's designed to manipulate a database through create, read, update, and delete actions. And it's the most common kind of database app by far, and it is the most common way to manipulate databases. Usually you don't manipulate databases through SQL statements. You write a program to do it for you. But you're not going to write a program. You're going to operate these databases interactively when you're creating them and getting things out of them. And even when you write a program, the program then calls SQL to manipulate the database. So you need to know SQL anyway. Now I have to give you a warning, which is that CRUD apps allow you to write SQL, and when I say you, I mean the user of the app, and that paves the way for SQL injection attacks on the database. For example, suppose your app has the query SQL select. That's not, the word SQL isn't supposed to appear here. There's a mistake here, I think. In any event, this is the query. Suppose that you have this query. So in this case, the $ID gets replaced by something that the user types in. So what you could do as the user, you could type in 10 semicolon drop table users, and then you've caused this second semicolon to become a comment, and your drop table users to become an effective SQL command. So there are no more valid users for the database. So this is a disaster. So that's that's an example of a SQL injection attack. And if your database allows it, if your CRUD app allows it, it's not a very good CRUD app. So there are now no legitimate users. And the remedy is to use something called prepared statements instead of inserting something that somebody wrote directly. So a prepared statement in a CRUD app help you to validate and sanitize input rather than passing what someone wrote. For example, you could check to see if 10 semicolon drop table users is an integer and disallow it since it is not an integer. It's a string. You could trigger different kinds of actions for malformed input depending on the likelihood that it is malicious. So this has a high likelihood of being malicious, but if somebody enters, let's say, 1P, the P key on my keyboard is right next to the, or even better yet, 1 dash. The dash is exactly next to the 0 key, so that's likely a typo. Okay, so prepared statements also improve performance if they're called over and over again because they're only parsed and compiled once, and just the variables are plugged in. Now there are some problems with CRUD, and the main problem is that in 2026 many people use LLMs to write CRUD apps. There's a vast profusion of CRUD apps that have become available recently, written by people who don't know about robust programming and security practices. So they don't ask the LLM to put in any robust programming and security practices because they don't know what they are, and they don't know what to look for to evaluate what the LLM has done. And the results are usually extremely fragile. This is usually a really big disaster. So it's okay to write CRUD apps for you to use yourself. It is not okay to write CRUD apps for other people to use, because it's not going to be that harmful if your CRUD app fails and obviously you're not going to put malicious input into your own CRUD app. So it's just not a big deal to write CRUD apps for yourself. That's fine. But what's happening right now is that repositories, particularly GitHub, is becoming overloaded with what's usually called AI slop. These are programs that were written primarily by AI and don't have any checks or balances in them. Okay, so that's I think that's all I want to say about that. Yeah. So on to our next video, and thanks for watching this one.